For both of you, why do you think people like? What's something that you think become alcoholics? Like, is it from early childhood stuff? It's not because this shit tastes hella good. Like, oh, I gotta have it. You know, it's not that. What do you think it is?
So I think
from your opinion.
I think there's a big medical standpoint in it where like it fits what they call a disease model. It's a malfunction of a major organ of your body, and so which is your brain, right? And so most people can have, a glass of wine with dinner and leave part of the glass of wine and stuff. My brain is like, you're gonna leave that there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And then one glass, like, what's the point of that? Like, I don't feel nothing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, because I'm drinking to feel it.
Here's another one. You see people that can put down their glass when they're chilling. Not me. Yeah. I'm holding it. I'm holding it the whole time.
Oh, like that.
Holding my whiskey, holding my wine. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're not letting it go.
Right. I like to use the alcohol, and it's a depressant, and then I end up doing powder to bring me back up.
Yep.
And then now I'm doing this all night long.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, fuck, now I'm gacked out. Now I got to drink some more, and now I'm like drunk again, so then I'm tooting and going back up. And it's bad.
Yeah. So as an alcoholic, you got to have your, like,
I guess it's different for everyone, but but like for me and a lot of my friends, I mean, that was a lot of like random things that I didn't even think about until someone pointed it out, and I was like, oh yeah, you never let go of your glass. I was like, shut up, how do you know that?
Like, you the same way? Like, never let go. Like, I noticed that now that I think of it.
Yeah, and then for the most part, if I'm at a bar, it might be sitting in front of me, but it's right there.
Because I was at Copper Spoon hosting on Thursday. You Copper Spoon, you've been there. I took a beer up when I started off my hosting set. I left it on the little stool. Then I went, introduced the first comic, left, and I was like, "Where did I put that beer?" Like, but I was chill about it,
That wouldn't be me. That wouldn't be me.
I just gave up. Like, I lost the beer. Fuck it. And
I'd either walk back out on stage to get it or be at the bar again.
One of my homies, comic, said, "Go get it!" Like while the dude was up. Like, no, he's
Yeah. JD coming out of the back. Like,
excuse me, bro. Sorry, mid joke. My bad. Everybody, thank you. All right, everybody. Cheers, everybody.
That's a real alcoholic too. Like if you have to interrupt someone else's set to go get your beer.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
probably. I mean, spit on me.
Yeah, if it was food, that's a different story.
No, I think it's like a bunch of different things.
Excuse me, Jerry Seinfeld, my burritos right here.
Sorry. I think it's a bunch of different things too. It could be trauma from when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Everyone's a little bit different, but also, and this is my experience and stuff I've heard a lot too, is that I grew up in a normal family. I didn't have abusive parents. I lived a very okay life. Yeah. The normal shit that you would get in trouble with your parents for.
That's what abused people say.
Nothing crazy. Yeah, like, you know what I mean though? Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I wasn't super poor. I wasn't super rich. I didn't have. I had a good life.
Yep.
And I still became an alcoholic. It's just something in me that couldn't just have one. That couldn't. And I noticed this like from a very young age. It was anything that I did. Right when I got into paintball. I started making my own money. All of a sudden, I bought a bunch of paintball gear and went like 3 or 4 times. But I was like, oh, I'm invested in this. You know what I mean? I was like addicted to it. Only watching videos about that. Only doing this and that.
You have an obsessive compulsive
obsessive mindset, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Is it just alcohol is what you use, like your tool?
Alcohol is the thing that really fucked it up for me. You know what I mean? Like as far as my life goes, because how I'm using that addiction now with AA, how I'm using it with music and being more creative, right?
Now that stuff,
that's a tattoo. Yeah, okay, that might be a problem too. I love tattoos. I do love tattoos.
That's all only got.
But as far as the mind altering stuff that can affect our life in a negative way, right? Like using that addictive personality somewhere positive, right?
For sure.
That's basically what AA is, and the journey of sobriety shifting. Because I know they say you can get rid of addiction. How do you actually feel about this? Because I struggle with this, that not that you're never and you can not be an alcoholic anymore, but that you kind of get rid of the disease in a sense, right? It says that in the book.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with it is like when we bring our addiction to AA, we hopefully get addicted to staying sober.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Right.
But then you're still addicted.
No, 100%. And that's
good.
Something good.
Right. But the contradiction of that is like some people say, oh no, that goes away now, blah, blah, blah. And
I think the compulsion to drink goes away. You know, like I'm still early in recovery right now, having 4 months. It still creeps up on me, and I'm like, oh, a drink would be good right now. I'm like, whoa, where'd that come from? You know what I mean, like seriously, just like, what in the hell?
Like
that just came out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
The devil on
yeah.
top. Yeah.
And
that happens for me when I see my family drink sometimes.
Right. And when I had years of sobriety, it did kind of leave me. You know what I mean? I wasn't really thinking about it, and then. I don't know if I discussed last time, we call it she-lapse. You know, I got with a girl who was an alcoholic and tried to fix her as a good codependent, you know what I mean? And try to help, and it just drugged me down with it, you know?
Right.
But, you know, and it eventually brought back the urge to drink. But I think you can lose the compulsion and the urge, but once you put that substance back into you, it's a wrap again. You know, there's no... so for me, having had quite some sobriety and then going back out, I can definitely say that there's no how could I put this, like my brain knows as soon as I get like a beer or two in me, that little change, my brain knows that it could feel this other way, you know, like which is hammered, you know what I mean, which is like my brain already knows like, no, this is like weak, you just tickling me right now, you know, let's go do this.
Don't tease me. You already started.
Go do this. Yep. Immediately.
Is there a point where you like me and Dave talked about this, where one of our homies was also, he's open about being sober, comedian. He talked about it. He went to an event with someone and they asked for a Red Bull, but they were making Red Bull with vodka drinks, and he took a sip and he spit it out. Like, do you think about that? Like, if that happened to you, would you like, oh no, I don't know, like, you know, is that something
it actually has happened to me before? And,
it has.
And it was my fault, you know. I was hanging out with some friends at a bar, and I had years of sobriety. But what it was I asked, what did I ask for? Like a Sprite, and somebody got like Sprite with vodka or something like that.
Sprite and vodka on the rocks. Hold a Sprite on the rocks.
Something like that. And I took a drink and was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I was okay, you know. It didn't. I was just like, you know. But it's
I feel like you don't have to change your sobriety date for a mishap like that. It's the relapse comes where
you decide
at that moment, fuck it, I already drank it, I might as well that's when the relapse happens, right?
Because mishaps, I mean, they can happen.
They can happen.
It teaches you a lesson, just like me and Dave said, right? You just know that you have to always go get your own drink now.
Yeah.
You know.
Would you like? I mean, I know this probably sounds like tedious, but would you? Like if you go somewhere to eat like pasta, and you know a lot of times they put wine in the pasta sauce. Would that be a problem for you, or no?
I'll tell you what.
For me,
I just had my dad just made wine pasta or something for the first time in a while, because we used to have it all the time during the pandemic, and he was starting to make it without it after I came out of recovery, because I just wasn't sure, you know what I mean, if I could taste it. And then he finally made it, and I had my first bite, and I was like, oh, I taste the difference again. Like, I do actually... It didn't bring back, like, oh, I want to drink wine. But it was like, oh.
Like the Lord of the Rings guy, am I fresh?
No, it was just really interesting, because, like, I tasted the flavor. And the flavor... And when I got to, like, towards the end of my run, was like... I was a big wine snob, because I was working in high-end catering, and I was doing all this kind of stuff. And so, like... I was drinking really nice things, and then I was just getting fucked up on them. Then we, do coke and stuff on the side, but the normal stuff.
Just a little, just cut mine's real small.
there are things that people use, like there's a prescription drug called Antabuse that they use to not drink alcohol, and what it does, it makes you very sick.
If you drink alcohol.
If you drink alcohol, so then those people will have an issue with like wine, pasta, and things like that, because then it'll make them sick. You know what I mean?
Damn. Okay.
Hand sanitizer, things like that.
People drink that, huh?
Well, they drink that, but the people on the Antabuse can't use it. They can't have alcohol at all. Can't have alcohol at all when they're taking that pill.
Okay.
Oh my!
Or it makes them violently ill.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, DVR and stuff was so strict. Like, they took away my allergy medicine when I got there. I mean, you couldn't do anything. Really? I had to get alcohol-free everything, including my hair gel.
Yep.
How have you been around like people drinking now?
It doesn't bug me now.
No.
The weirdest thing with me is
Cool
like
thing you said that, because I'm just kidding.
He's like, cool, because our new sponsor today is Bud Light Seltzer. Smirnoff.
and a glass plate.
White Claw.
I'd be like, I gotta go.
Just spill some on my nose.
It's a conscious decision for
Yeah.
me. Like when I decide to relapse, it's there. It's full fledged. You know what I mean? Because even in this last couple months, like I've gone out to the bar to meet friends or whatever. You know, I don't hang out there a long time. I don't spend all night there or anything. But I've gone out to say what's up or whatever. Rode the motorcycle down. You know, said what's up. But
Driving your own vehicle.
Yeah,
very important.
When the last time I went out, I was at home cleaning my house. You know, I was just like cleaning stuff up, doing laundry, doing all kinds of stuff.
Boring.
I was like, you know what would be cool right now is a couple drinks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
You know, and then I went and had a couple drinks and
Off to the races.
you know, off to the races.
So, okay, I was going to ask you that. Like, when you first think in your mind, you're sober, you go, man, a couple drinks would be dope right now. Because sometimes it creeps up on me
Like
as
a
well.
holidays, I'm sure you feel it.
Yeah, because everyone's drinking,
right,
everyone's
yeah.
getting drunk, and you're like, man, I used to do this. I used to have fun. But like, what is that first? What's going through your mind when you're going to the bar, knowing you're sober? Like, is it, fuck, am I gonna fuck up my time? Do you even care about that? Or
At that point, it's fuck it. Let's go. It's just fuck it. You know.
Yeah.
I will say though, like when I had that,
No second guesses at all.
Yeah. Once
okay.
once is the time. But like when I told you I had that little out of nowhere thought. You know what I mean? Those ones I'm like, get out. You know what I mean? But when it's in there. And it goes through like this process in my brain, and then I decide to. There's no second guess after that.
No, because that's the start of the relapse process.
Yeah.
You already relapsed.
Yeah,
at
I'm
that
already
point.
there. You know.
Yeah.
But how could I explain this? Like I will say, when I had those 6.5 years of sobriety, I was in it to win it. You know, I thought I was never ever going to drink again.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it's still there. But once I had lost that, the idea of these numbers made it easier for me to keep doing it.
What do you mean?
So the numbers of like how many days I had,
days?
6 years, 4 months,
Right.
20 days is what it was. You know what I mean? And then when I did it, and then I was like at a month again, right?
Yeah.
Like a month, fucking who gives a shit? You know, it's a month, whatever. Let's go kick it at the bar again. You know, like, whatever. You know, it was easier to give it up.
To give it up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, in my head, anyways. And then one thing I will say too is like, those numbers mean a lot when you're trying to stay sober, but they also don't equal recovery, if that makes sense.
Because you still.
That's what I'm.
Bomb
That's
dropped.
what I'm trying to
That's-
get into my head.
That's heavy, man.
So I know people with 20 years of sobriety who have done nothing with themselves. They're living off GA. They're struggling, and I'm not trying to hate, but I'm like, bro, you're fully able-bodied. You're capable.
You're still living like an addict.
Yeah, and you're living like an addict. You're doing
I get
nothing with
what you're
yourself. With your kids and with your, and I'm like, you gotta. There's growth that's supposed to happen.
Right.
And you should be taking care of your family and doing.
And you're just not drinking. That's the only thing.
You're just not drinking.
You're not.
Not drinking, but not living at the same
Not
time.
living.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
I remember this dude.
For you, but thank you.
He started saying his goodbyes.
At the end, I just remember the guy coming up and giving me the check, and he goes, "Yeah, that'll be our last time."
When the Beatles, wrote the White Album, did they have to like pass it in front of some drunk? So why are we doing?